I would like to apologize if you hear some mysterious sounds or something. That's probably from me. Right. So let us start our class with the recitation of Al-Fatiha. Okay, so how's everyone? How's first day of semester? And I believe most of you has already started some classes this morning and in the afternoon also, right? Yes. So I know 5 o'clock is very lemau time, but unfortunately this is the scheduled time for FYP, so we have to because this is the only time available. So we'll try to slot in FYP punya agendas as and when we can. Right. So first of all, I'll start with the briefing lah, the FYP briefing. Okay. So everyone can see my slides, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what is FYP? FYP is final year project. So in your apa kata course structure kan, punya program structure, you guys have to complete 8 hours of FYP. 3 credit hours is in this semester and 5 credit hours is in the second semester, that is FYP 2. So we are now in FYP 1. I am your coordinator. So if you have any problems with your supervisor, with your lab, if anything, you have to let me know. So I will be assisting you to coordinate. So that reminds me, for those who are asking for the apa tu mahalah punya issue tu, we are working on that with the kuliah to request for your apa orang kata waiver of fees lah. So when I get the feedback from them, I will update you lah. So okay, so that's my first action of coordination. So anyone else after this, kalau you guys need any coordination if necessary, let me know, so I will be able to update to what is necessary lah. Right, so FYP. What, when, why, how? FYP is a mini research where you will be first of all be involved in this research cycle. So in a research cycle, you have to first identify your research area. Basically, you've been given a particular title. So because you have been given your titles, you can start search based on the keywords of those titles to identify your research area. And then some of you have met up with your supervisors. So when you meet with your supervisors, you have begin with your design research study research design. And then this is the semester where you start to carry out your research. Some of you, I believe, have gone for sampling, have started your sampling, has your sampling plans all set up already. So that's good for you. Don't worry. For the one who hasn't, you still have these 2 semesters to carry out your research. And after you've taken your samples, you've collected your data, obviously you have to analyze the research study, the research results. And at the end of this FYP, which will be concluded in the second semester in FYP 2, you will be published the research results in the form of a thesis. So the scientific method, as I believe you have gone through research methodology, begins with observation, questions, hypothesis, experiment, analysis, and conclusion. So everyone's clear on the idea of what FYP is, right? I hope so. So first, most importantly for everyone, to begin your FYP, your research, your work, your experiment with niat. Set your intentions right. So this hadith is narrated by Umar ibn al-Khattab. An Umar ibn al-Khattab qala Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, innama a'malu binniyat wa innama likulli imrin ma nawa. Faman kanat hijratuhu ila Allah wa rasulihi fa hijratuhu ila Allah wa rasulihi. Faman kanat hijratuhu lidunya yusibuha aw imra'ati yankihuha fa hijratuhu ila ma hajara ilai. So the translation of it is, the messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, said, verily deeds are only with intentions, and every person will only have what they intended. Whoever immigrated to Allah and His Messenger, his immigration is for Allah and His Messenger. Whoever immigrated to get something in this world or to marry a woman, his immigration is for that he is for that to which he immigrated. What we can learn from this hadith is that whenever you set your intention to do the research, obviously when you read your titles, you were given your titles, you select your titles, you macam, oh, you have an idea, okay, because of this title, it sounds like this, means I will get this and that and this and that as my results. But before that, you will have to remember whenever you start your research, you are seeking knowledge for the sake of Allah. You are doing your FYP obviously to fulfill your credit requirements, obviously. And but in addition to those, you can also set your attentions to do your FYP lillahi ta'ala. So let's start with good things so that our FYP may end with good things too. Okay, so this is your project flow. In general, FYP titles are released to all students. So I already released your titles and you've already selected it. And then discussion with your supervisor to prepare your proposal. This will be an ongoing process. Some of you have already met your supervisor once. Some of you may have met your supervisor more than once already. And then we will submit the proposal. Is required to be submitted in week 9. So you have about 8 more weeks to finalize your proposal with your supervisor, draft and finalize the proposals with your supervisor before submission. I set the submission to be after Raya. So, but if I set before Raya, it's most likely that you are gonna ask me after Raya anyway. So that's just but no extension. Submit after Raya, no extension. And then you will have your proposal defense. This is set in week 11. Subjected to all the examiners' availability. I will check with them and update you later on this date for the proposal defense. But tentatively, it's going to be on week 11. And then you can start on your sampling and laboratory works. Some of you may have started your sampling and laboratory works before your proposal discussion, but that is entirely up to you and your supervisor. But this is like saying a general flow lah. And then in next semester, you will be doing your progress report presentation, softbound thesis submission, final presentation, and your hardbound thesis submission and clearance form. So even though some of you might not do some lab or any lab, please be reminded that at the end of your FYP, you still have to fill in this clearance form and note inside that form that you did not use those clearance, you did not use the lab facility, and the sign officer will sign the clearance form. That's it. So for the timeline important dates, these are the dates that I have so far. Briefing 1, which is today with me, introduction to FYP, and I already set for you on Friday, this Friday, week 1, seminar 1, searching for journal articles, journal search talk session with the librarian. I'll be using the Microsoft Teams platform. So after this, I will add everyone on the Microsoft Teams and also the librarian in the Microsoft Teams for the presentation. And then next week, you will have some briefing for laboratory SOP with Brother Masrul. Kalau tak sempat nak buat next week, I think I did a typo here lah kot. It's supposed to be Monday. If we are unable for your timing, I would double check with Brother Masrul on the timing of next week. Kalau tak dapat buat next week, it's okay, don't worry. It'll be like, put it on a later date, week 3 or 4 or 5. Because not everyone starts with your laboratory ASAP kan. Ada yang awal, ada yang lambat. So siapa yang awal, you can go for briefing earlier. Siapa yang tak berapa urgent untuk buat laboratory, it's okay for your briefing to be a bit later. And next week Friday, if Prof Shah is well and available, then we will have your second seminar, which is on ethics of research and ethics with supervisor. So Prof Shah will expound on what is the good attitude and good conduct that you should have while conducting your FYP. Because well, there are always cases of FYP. Prof Shah is a very prominent lecturer here. He has supervised a lot of postgraduate and undergraduate students for the FYP. So he has a lot of experience, and he has like met some students with good attitude and not so good attitude. So he likes to advise everyone on what would be a good ethics conduct and would uh, what kind of conduct should be generally avoided lah. And then maybe on week 3, we will have your seminar preparing proposal. I have not been able to set who is available for this. Worst case scenario, no one's available, I have to conduct it for you. It's okay. You will see me again and again and again. But if some of the lecturers are available, then I will ask them to give the seminar lah. And then week 9 is your proposal submission date, 9th of May. Please remember that the date is set on the 9th of May 2022 for your proposal submission. I will put the link for submission on apa nama dia tu? Google Classroom. And for the proposal defense, it will also be conducted online. Okay. So for your proposal format, generally the format will contain your introduction with your problem statement and your research question, your hypothesis, your objective, and then you will have to have your literature review. And then third part is your materials and method. Fourth part is expected outcome. Fifth part is Gantt chart, and sixth part is references. I believe the proposal format is, I have a template. I already uploaded the template and the guidelines for this proposal in the Google Classroom in the folder for materials FYP guidelines. And then you guys can check this out after the session today. So, and then continuing next semester, you do the thesis writing seminar, the submission of your softbound, your thesis defense, and then submission of your hardbound lah. So those are tentative dates. This may change depending on the situation lah. Right. But it contains the flow lah. So you have to understand FYP1, FYP2, this is a continuous project, right? Okay. So for assessment, your proposal, your progress report, and your thesis will all be graded. So for your FYP1, and then you will also have your presentation for the proposal, the progress, and your thesis, which is your final presentation. Okay. So your written proposal itself is graded. Your presentation of proposal is also graded. Okay. So for your proposal defense presentation, you would have to focus on problem statement, hypothesis, significance of study, and objectives, your methodology, expected results, potential or impact, and then your research activities or Gantt chart. So all must be done in 8 minutes. So when you present for your proposal defense, it's going to be like 8 minutes presentation and 15 minutes of question and answer from your examiners. So for your assessment criteria for FYP1, I have also included your FYP guidelines to include all this, the full breakdown. This is like the overall breakdown, the overall punya view of it, but the exact breakdown, the rubrics for your proposals are all in the guideline that I have prepared and uploaded in your Google Classroom. So if you want to know the details, you can refer to your rubrics lah. So this is FYP2. It looks similar, right? So the thesis and presentation will be 30%, 30%, and then the your supervisor will be allowed 40% weightage. Okay, so that's it for me for the briefing. Any more questions? Right, so that's my briefing, and then I would like to also share with you. Okay, let me know if you can see. I'm trying to share with you the course outline. Okay, tak nampak screen gelap. Let me see if I can open the course outline from the web. Cakap mana? Sebentar ya. Folder. See from drive. So reminder everyone dah tekan I taklim punya, I taklim pula dah. I attend punya link So, so let's see if I can show this one. Let's see. Okay, can you see my course outline?
Yes.
Okay, something's appearing. Do you see it?
Yes, Doctor.
All right. Okay, since you can see this. Okay, this is your course outline. Final year project 1, course code SMT 3213, credit value 3, MQF level 6, intake semester bermula batch 2014 onwards, so including your batch 2019. The course synopsis, the course is designed to expose the student on how scientific research is conducted. The course helps students lighten the area of interest, searching for literature review and proposal writing and presenting. So basically, whatever knowledge you've gained in your first, second, and third year, when you did your research methodology, when you did your biostatistics, when you did your COCOS, your biological oceanography, your physical oceanography, your all those subjects you've learned, this is where you will have some practical hands-on lah. So some of you selected titles that the research element is closely related to the labs that we have conducted. Some of you are into totally new things, so it's okay, don't worry. FYP is about learning new things anyway. So this is course learning outcome. There's one, choose a research topic. Okay, you already done that, good. So we skip one. So it's already achieved one. So number 2 is to design the research proposal. So most of you are going through discussion with your supervisor for the proposal, for drafting the proposal. And number 3 is to form the research plan and based on Islamic way. So whatever we do, we are Khalifah of Allah. We will have to do everything in khair attributes, with amanah, to be rahmatan lil alamin, etc., etc., etc. I'm not a very good person in creating this, but we always have to remember to inculcate those messages of Islamic attributes to imbue all our Islamic ethics in all the things we do. So instruction method is consultation with supervisor. You are actually required to have weekly discussion with your supervisor, and in part of your rubrics, you will be graded based on the frequency of your meetings. If you meet only once in one semester, you will probably be graded 0. If you meet quite often, like 7 to 8 times, you will be graded fair. But if you really do meet every week or try to communicate every week, either by email or WhatsApp, SMS, any telecommunication on a weekly basis, you will probably be graded full marks lah for that particular marking sekolah item. So methods, proposal presentation, which is you and your supervisor. 40% is here, and then another 20% is contributed by your evaluators also. And then proposal writing and presentation. This is also parts from your evaluators lah. So okay, teaching method. I mean 24, 16, 18. So okay. Most of the time you will be doing literature review lah, proposal presentation, but some of you would start already on your experiment. So week 1 is basically we already actually on week 2. because this is a very old course outline, and we try to improve the FYP as flow as and when the semester, every semester we've seen every batch being how every batch goes. So to make things faster, we already skip to the briefing for this first week. Right. So what's left for you is this part. Your literature review, your laboratory preparation, your consultation with supervisors, and the preparation of proposal and presentation. Okay. So, right. This was prepared by Dr. Muhammad Fitri bin Yunus. This is such a good one. Okay. As long as we have something to refer to. So basically, this is the course outline. Questions on the course outline? Anything you don't understand? Tak ada eh? Alright. Okay, also I have one more things to show you lah. This one being lemak. Right. Yes, thanks. Okay, this is the guideline that I shared with you I uploaded in your Google Classroom. So if you cannot view this from your Google Classroom, let me know so that I can, maybe it's because of the setting, I'll fix it lah. So, options. Let's go. This is your FYP guidelines. This is not like set in stone, but basically you can use this as reference point. And like if there's something that you would like to know more, know further, you want to clarify, you can let me know lah. So this is your course code 3213 FYP project 1, credits 3, and then your passing mark is grade C with the 50% mark, right? If I'm not mistaken lah. If you get anything less than C, you have to repeat kan. So if you do not pass your FYP, if for any of you who have dispute with supervisor, if you have from the start have some dispute, let me know. If you are wishing to change supervisor or wishing to change title or anything, please let me know if you have any problems. But if you don't let me know of any of the issues or any of the problem, tapi you macam senyap je dengan supervisor you because you just run away from your supervisor just because you don't like your supervisor, macam, and then you don't want to bercerai secara harmoni, you just simpan dendam. Your supervisor also can simpan dendam and fail your grade. So be careful. Please avoid situations where you would cause your supervisor to not grade you or grade you unfairly. Please avoid that. So if I have any issue of any kind, supervisor, lab, tak boleh masuk lab, anything, let me know. Right. Cuma sekarang ni the KTF punya ni is very strict for the one going outside. Longer than the nama dia, meaning further daripada Kuantan punya area itself. Like if you want to be attached with a different lab, macam FRI ke, your supervisor is doing some lab work or request you to do some lab work in USM, for example, UMP or government institute, lembaga getah or something, that one needs all those proper surat and everything. So that one you have to let me know in advance lah. Okay, going back on your guidelines, you guys can read this lah. Basically, it's a lot of things. Or talking about conduct, talking about what my ethics as a coordinator should be, and then what is your process, the title section, laboratory booking. So change of supervisor is allowed, but you have to have reasons that are justifiable. And then there's the supervision and roles of FYP supervisor. So if you believe your supervisor do not have time at all for you, every week you reach out for supervisor, jomlah discussion, supervisor jomlah meeting, and then your supervisor keeps brushing you off, supervisor yang buat palau, supervisor yang memang tak reply WhatsApp or email at all, itu pun you can let me know so that I can take action against your supervisor lah. So the roles and responsibility of the final supervisor, okay, these are listed here. You guys can read it and, you know, judge your supervisor also. Okay, let me know if there's a problem. You guys cakap lain, supervisor cakap lain pun, it will be an issue. So please let me know if there's something wrong with your supervisor, okay? So these are your responsibilities, selecting your titles, doing your, conducting the discussion, doing the lab work itself and everything lah. So, I also uploaded your logbook in the, apa nama dia? In the, apa nama dia? In the Google Classroom. So please remember to fill in the logbook because at the end of the semester, you are to return back the digital version of the logbook. So if some of you have face-to-face discussion with supervisor and your supervisor sign and stamp your logbook, at the end of the semester, please digitalize the copy and submit. For the ones yang memang suka buat kerja secara digital, you know, you see the PDF version of the logbook, you just fill in and your supervisor just provide digital signature. It's okay, you can just submit that copy lah. So like this. This is the itemization of evaluation and marking for the FYP, proposal, examiner, also supervisor bagi weightage juga for ni. Supervisor bagi weightage. I don't know lah with this go. Okay, proposal, both supervisor and examiner, presentation by the examiner, overall performance is by the supervisor. So me as a coordinator or in the committee, FYP committee, which is me, the HOD and the student advisor, will also deliberate on any issues lah. Bila ada isu penting, yes, we will also deliberate. So on the FYP2, progress report, thesis and everything, that's the itemization. Dalam guideline ni pun, there's a short version of the format for your thesis, proposal and thesis. But I also have an extra document for the proposal itself. And I uploaded those proposal template and guidelines in your Google Classroom. So this is a recommended thesis content. You can you make it different from this is okay as long as you have discussed this with your supervisor. This guideline is just a recommendation to give you an idea. So before you meet your supervisor for discussion apa, you baca ni, oh you have an idea, okay, what kind of the research question should be, what kind of the hypothesis should be. So bila you jumpa dengan supervisor, mungkin supervisor tu dia terlupa nak mention to you. So you have to remind your supervisor, doktor lupa nak beritahu saya Q saya ni okey ke tak? Oh saya ni okey ke tak? Macam tu. So having this should help guide you when you discuss with your supervisor. Kalau your supervisor kata, tak payahlah research hypothesis, tak payah. We just do Q and O, research question and research objective. No need for research hypothesis. Then you follow your supervisor. It's okay. All right. So the last part is on evaluation and submission, and then the final ni lah. So this is a workflow by weeks. So sometimes for this semester, I suggested the proposal submission to be on week 9 and the proposal defense to be on week 11. For the past semester, some of them went on week 7 and defended on week 10. Usually dia kat situ lah dia berubah-ubah sikit. But that's the general flow lah, you can see. This is also one of the other flows for research. This is the type of forms that you fill. This one I think you already fill kan. Title registration, everyone already fill already. Title selection process, dah lepas dah, okay. So this part of this guideline is all the forms that are available for you guys. So some forms tu memang saya automatically akan upload dalam Google Classroom. Some of them kalau saya tak upload, you have to ask for me, remind me where to get it. Sometimes saya lupa, forgive me. Right, so your rubrics for proposal assessment, see, is in the appendix. You can see for your introduction, you need the background study and problem statement. So what is poor, what is defined as poor, what is defined as excellent. So your supervisor, your examiners will use this as their punya guide for marking. So you guys have this also to grade yourself lah. Rasa korang punya tu well articulated ke tak? You guys rasa korang tu well justified ke tak? So that's how you guys can use the rubric as also guidelines for you guys, okay? So research design, methodology, expected outcome, Gantt chart, citations, semua adalah writing style and grammar. Don't forget if you write poorly, nanti adalah examiner yang akan komen write poorly tu markah rendah. Kalau if you write well, if you do your citations well, your examiner pun bagi markah tinggi, markah elok-elok. So this is also the second part lah. The appendix ni is for the presentation. This is markah-markah presentation lah. So what to do to present well and whatever semua. This is the rubrics. So you guys can read the rubrics lah, study the rubrics in order to do well for your proposal. Okay. So weightage. Alright. Final marks. So something like this lah. You guys can go through this in more details later. So most of you, I believe, is on experiment-based punya research. Some of you might have to change to review-based, but that's for discussion on a later time, bila the time comes lah. Sebab hopefully tak adalah pandemic MCO yang apa orang kata PKP lockdown balik ke apa. So before this was like, there was batches yang went through those lockdown, memang tak boleh buat eksperimen. Baru nak cross sampling, tak boleh sampling sampailah. Sampai sudah tak sampling, then they had to do paper issue review and whatnot. So hopefully not your batch lah. I hope those are the things from the past. But most of you, kalau sampling pun tak susah punya sampling. I believe so lah. Right. So, I think that's all from me. Since everyone dah tekan ayatan kan, I do not need to copy paste the ayatan, right? Yeah. So everyone is in the ayatan. Everyone's here. Total 20 orang. Should I have 22 students? Ada 2 orang lagi yang tak tekan. I'm not sure who, but please remind siapa yang tak tekan tu untuk tekan before 6:30. So I think that's the end of my session today. I will not have any session with you tomorrow, even though in the schedule is like Monday 1.5 hour, Tuesday 1.5 hour. Tomorrow I don't have any session with you. I will not have any session with you. But the Friday, it will be replaced with the session on Friday. Okay, kalau ambil sampel daripada LKIM, WhatsApp me and let me know the details. Nanti I'll let you know dia punya clarification. LKM sini Kuantan ke LKM jauh?
Doktor kata hari tu dekat Kuantan je.
Is it after 8 AM ataupun sebelum 8 AM?
Tak pasti.
Okay, before you plan for something, just let me know so that I can double check kalau you guys boleh keluar mahalah, sebab it's because of the timing you guys nak keluar mahalah sebelum 6 AM tu kan. That one I have to double check. But if it's like LKM in Kuantan within 8 to 5 PM, you should have no problem to go for sampling at LKM.
Okay, doktor.
Alright. But if the one yang melibatkan nanti nak kena jumpa Pak Gad nak dapatkan kelepasan ke apa, those ones are the ones that I will help deal with lah. Tu je. Alright. Okay. So I will arrange your Friday punya program session with the librarian on Friday on Microsoft Teams. Whatever I just mentioned and showed you just now will probably dah upload kat Google Classroom. If you want any or other materials from me, let me know. Or just Ashraf kot. Ashraf my student and one. Tomorrow we'll have a discussion lah nanti. WhatsApp me. Let me know when you're on. We'll have a discussion.
Doctor, right now I am at home because this week I have need to voting, mengundi.
Mengundi. Tak apa. We'll have an online discussion if that's the case. Don't worry. WhatsApp me later. Alright. Okay.
Okay, doctor.
Alright. So Okay, this week. So next week, I'll double confirm with your brother Masrul for your lab briefing. If not, if kalau most likely I will update you ada atau tak ada. Kalau tak ada, memang you have nothing with me on Monday and Tuesday afternoon next week. But you might have a session with the Prof. Shah. That one I will also confirm back next week, the session for research ethics with Prof. Shah. And then week 3 lah, and then the subsequent punya seminar. So all the best meeting with supervisor. I hope by this week, all of you meet your supervisors. At least, you know, hari tu for titles only. Now this week, you know, start your discussion and whatnot with your supervisors lah this week. Okay, any other questions from anyone? Yeah. If anything, you need anything from me, WhatsApp, email, whatever. Let me know so that I can handle any issues. All right. So let's end our session today with the recitation of Tasbih Kifah and Surah As. Okay, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.